All right, I'm back. And this will be the last discussion of the day. I do have two readings that are coming up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to them today. One of the readings is because I got a channeled song from some Divine Masculines as I was waking up this morning. That's usually when it happens. It happens when I'm not able to interrupt. Okay. And so, especially like in sleep state or when I'm barely waking, and I get a lot of songs that way. So, one of the readings is going to be based off of this channeled message from some Divine Masculines through a song. The other reading is another song that maybe another group of masculines are feeling, or feminines, but I'm really feeling like it's masculines about some divine feminine. So there's going to be two readings, and then once you guys hear the songs and what they're based on, you'll kind of know where it's going. But I don't think I'm going to get to those tonight. So chances are I'll be doing those readings early in the morning, okay? But I wanted to come on to do at least one more little quick mini discussion. And this is going to be on the topic of eccentricity. Those of us that are eccentric, but also society and what society has a tendency to look upon as so-called air quotes crazy, and how it's really so ass backwards. But that's the nature of this 3D. That's the nature of the matrix and the programmings. And so, this is why I'm challenging a lot of people to challenge what we really think is crazy. Because, those movies like American Psycho, and there's just different movies out there that if we're paying attention, it's painting this picture of people who are so-called very high functional and normal, and they hold these classic, traditional positions in society. Okay, they wear nice suits, they're very clean cut, they're very, at least for the public, mild mannered, and all of these things. And so, but see, that's the illusion, isn't it? The American Psycho didn't look like a psycho, did he? We see it because we were watching the movie from the backdrop. We know the full background story. But in life, the others, those outside of that, they have no idea. As far as they're concerned, this is this nice man that has this beautiful home and career and has worked really hard and diligent, and they're clean cut, and they are Christian or Catholic or whatever their particular religious bents are, and they contributors to society, and what I'm saying, they have all of this appearance. But the man in this movie that I'm referring to at the time, well, we know what happened. We know who he really was. He was sociopathic, psychopathic, okay, which what has fixations and idolizations on destructive things in secret, okay, to innocent lives. And there are a lot of people, whether we want to believe this or not, that actually do operate like that. So this is why I'm challenging us all to challenge the sacred cows of what you are classifying as so-called crazy. Because quite often it's quite the opposite. Okay, and so I'm using this analogy with Little Sheldon, one of my favorite shows, along with Big Bang Theory. But he was an eccentric little boy as well, and brilliant, very different. And he had his own beliefs, and he did his own thing. And he had a brilliant mind. Okay, and he was equally a sweet person, but he was just different. And because of the nature of society, especially at that time, and some of his oddities and the things in which he did, he was being pointed at and looked at in a certain way. And this particular episode is pointing out the process of like his own parents, which in his case, he was blessed in this show because even though he was different, he didn't have toxic, abusive parents. His mother respected him and respected his individuality even as a child. And so this is what I love about it, even though I'm like, okay, they were kind of a little extra. But at least they loved on him unconditionally, and they did not discourage him or squelch his spirit or try to beat him into submission or, none of that weird stuff, right? Okay, so let's see this we're not going to see the whole episode, guys. We're just gonna see just a couple of clips here illustrating challenge these sacred cows. Everything is not quite as it seems. Okay? Some of the stuff we're calling normal is, beneath the surface lies people with serious mental illness that hide it with their accomplishments and their suits, okay, and all of that good old stuff. Okay, so let's rock.
I've always felt the world of subatomic particles would make an excellent video game. Fortunately, thanks to my brain, I've been playing it for years.
You cheeky little Milan, you know you don't belong there. Don't look at me, he's your kid.
Skip that part. We're not into this part right now. We're looking at this.
Okay, what have we got here? Farmhouse kitchen.
See how she's all embarrassed? She's concerned that her little boy may have a mental illness, but look how fidgety she is.
Guide to your child's mental.
Oh, look at that cute little book knife. I'll get that too.
Okay. Still want the crazy kid book, right?
Okay, 52 Texas snow globes comes to $55.25. Can't you do any better? What do you mean? 35.
Yeah, that's clever.
I'm reading this book about mental problems, and I'm worried it sounds like Sheldon.
Well, stop reading the book.
Shelby and Dr. Sturgis have a lot in common, and look what happened.
What, you mean like how he went to...
As a society, we've made strides in how we discuss psychological issues. 30 years ago in East Texas, let's just say we hadn't.
Hey, that could be your son one day.
Honey, just because they're both super smart doesn't mean that they're the same person. I mean, Sturgis was in love with your mom, so clearly he was nuts from the get-go.
You're not helping.
I'm not wrong either. Love you.
Why aren't you also driving Missy to school?
I thought it might be nice for us to chat.
About Missy? She is a bit much, isn't she?
Here's a question for you. Do you ever see or hear things that other people can't?
Oh, all the time. Right now, the car antenna is vibrating at the same frequency as the pistons in the motor.
His
It's quite
senses are
irritating, but
high.
you know me, I don't complain.
I meant more like things that aren't actually there.
Isn't that the fundamental question of modern metaphysics?
So
What is
smart.
actually there? This is fun. Missy should ride with Dad more often.
Let me try this a different way. Do you ever feel paranoid, like people are out to get you?
I'm a 10-year-old in high school. People are out to get me.
That's fair. I just think if I was having these feelings, that might be scary, right?
I suppose so. And this is something that's been concerning you?
Maybe. Lately. A little. But the important thing is that we can always talk about this kind of thing with each other.
Do you have any books on mental health? Sure, why? I believe my mother's unraveling. We have a few books on mental illness you might find helpful. This one's a good place to start. Have you read it? Read it? One.
What?
Everybody.
This Friday, be the first to return to Pandora.
Let's go, come on!
13 Friday.
I hope you know him.
So they're both concerned.
Oh dear.
Now he's reading. She's reading.
Oh no. Oh dear.
So see how he's eccentric. He has to separate his freaking food, which is making her like, what the hell?
Sorry I gave you the boot before. Does that mean you'll buy one now? No.
You didn't sell a single snow globe?
Now, don't give your brother a hard time.
Well, now I know it's a peeing contest between you and your daddy. I take two. All right.
Wow, did she say
You're
it?
not crazy about Dad.
Oh,
What about
wow.
Enough. And I don't like us making fun of each other.
Right.
We're family, and there should be a place that is safe where we can talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Now let's just say grace.
Watch this, though. It's supposed to get interesting. He don't like touching
Thank you,
people.
God, for this food we are about to receive, and bless the hands that prepared it. And please keep us all in good health, body and mind.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm not. Amen.
Amen. Hello?
Oh, baby. What are you doing up?
I couldn't sleep. Why are you up?
Same.
Do you have insomnia from anxiety?
Is that what you have?
Yes.
What are you anxious about?
Honestly, your mental health.
Me? Why?
You seem preoccupied lately, and you were asking me all those questions in the car.
I was just letting you know that if you were having any problems, you could come to me with them.
You think I have mental problems?
Well, not problems. I'm just worried about your future. And when I see you moving subatomic particles around in the air, that makes me...
Subatomic particles are real. You talk to an invisible man in the sky who grants wishes. If anyone's mental, it's you.
All right, I'm going to pause it right here. Look at her face. She's like, OMG. No, he didn't. Okay, so here's where it got good. So now they both started being concerned because she was asking him questions and looking at him funny. And because she was asking questions, he started, because he's a really smart little boy, so he started getting concerned about her mental health. Now, see, this is the conversation that they end up having, being honest about their concerns for one another. And so in our pretension, in our overinflated sense of all-knowingness, right? Even when we mean well, we can be wrong. So based on Western modern knowledge and understanding to this woman, something may be wrong with her son because she sees him moving around his hands, and particles and things of that nature. These are centricities because she doesn't understand the world of energy. She doesn't understand the spiritual things. She understands religion, but she doesn't understand the world of energy the way her son does. So when they have this real conversation, she ends up getting upset, which is why you see her eyes all stretched out, because he called her out. He was a very bold young man. She was trying to sit in front of him, acting all concerned about his mental state because of what she was watching him do. But he said this: you pray to an invisible man in the sky. And the reason why, it may have felt and sound disrespectful to her, but essentially what he was trying to say is, to her, what she's doing is about faith, okay, and her belief system, whether this is seen or not. And to him, it's the same thing, the energy world, whether this is seen or not. And so these are the things I feel like would help us to start looking at our own conditionings and programmings, because they're both in this thought process like, wait a minute, something wrong with you, something wrong with you. And he's like, no. Okay, so fascinating here. I'm going to play it.
Okay, now you are over the line. You apologize.
No.
What the hell's going on?
Nothing. It's fine.
No. You talk to an invisible man in the sky who grants wishes. If anyone's mental, it's you.
Okay, now you are over the line. You apologize.
No!
What the hell's going on?
Nothing, it's fine.
Mom thinks that I'm crazy.
I thought we weren't supposed to say stuff like that.
Mother,
Yes?
He's upset
is it okay
now.
if I use a knife to butter my toast, or are you worried I'll do something crazy with it?
You can butter your own toast.
Oh, good. You see the toast, too. I was afraid I was imagining it.
Sheldon?
All right, that's enough.
What's going on? Nothing's going on. Everything's fine.
I'll tell you later. My mother believes I'm mentally unstable. And since there's a genetic component and I'm her child, I suppose it's possible.
I know you're angry right now, but you will not be disrespectful.
You know, fits of rage are a classic sign of psychosis.
Oh, you haven't seen fits of rage
I
yet.
said that's enough. Both of y'all are acting like lunatics.
You have to speed?
I think I got it.
All right, so I'm going to stop it here because we're not worried about the snow globe and all that stuff. So I wanted to share that because these are the underlining things we need to look at. And it's based on our conditioning. It's based on the subconscious. It's based on the cultures that we have all been shaping into. Sheldon broke the mold in his particular bloodline. And, you know, luckily he was in a family setting to where that was supported properly. But it had its challenges. And he called out some very, very valid points. And I smiled the first time I saw it because I was like, yeah, you know, and it just lit up my heart because it's the truth, whether people want it to be or not. Okay. And really, we need to get into a place of, okay, let's kind of take this shit down here. Because there are some that have some legit mental illness that needs to be looked at. And that's not really being looked at because society, you know, because they're hiding. They're hiding under the normalcy of the conditionings and programs that this 3D matrix uphold. And I really truly believe that a lot of eccentrics, earth angels and star seeds gets classified as crazy because of that by crazy individuals. That's what I really believe. That just knows how to keep up a very nice uniform for the world. But do some very unmentionable things secretly. Okay. So anywho, I just wanted to share one more little short discussion, but based on the topic of what we are calling crazy. Targeting and stigmatizing eccentric ones that are gifted and brilliant and not afraid to be their authentic selves and still have beautiful hearts that don't go around doing malicious shit, while those we're calling normal without beautiful hearts because they're following suit with these 3D conditions of so-called normalcy are actually the ones operating with ill intent, sickness, disease, and mental illness because they have the capacity to do these wicked things, okay? Off chemically and all these other things, which is why they're driven. I mean, do your guys' own research, okay? Due diligence, look into pathologies, so, you know, psychopaths, sociopaths, malignant narcissists. And if you do your due diligence, this will start to open your eyes to what's been going on. But most of us have just been in stupors. And this is the reason why we haven't noticed it. All right.